Tyrion Lannister enters the small council chamber and immediately understands what his father is doing. He doesn't rush forward. He doesn't sit. He doesn't speak. He stands back, quietly, watching the room like a man who has survived long enough to recognize a trap the moment it's set. Most battles in Game of Thrones are won with dragons or Valyrian steel. But today, the weapon of choice is a furniture arrangement. Welcome back to the story chamber. Usually, we hunt for meaning in dialogue. But in Season 3, Episode 3, the most dangerous thing Tywin Lannister does is stay silent. And Tyrion knows it, because this room isn't designed for discussion, it's designed for exposure. In the next few minutes, we're going to dissect a 2-minute masterclass in psychological warfare, and how a simple seating chart quietly reveals the fate of every player in the room. Tywin hasn't said a word, but Tyrion already knows. His father is testing them. This is Tywin Lannister, newly appointed Hand of the King, the most powerful man in Westeros, short of the Iron Throne itself, and Tyrion has spent his entire life being tested by this man. The small council chamber is washed in morning light, clean, orderly, but the table is wrong. Every chair has been placed on the same side. In earlier seasons, this table was balanced. Counselors faced one another, equal voices, shared authority. Now, it's a classroom, or worse, a courtroom. And Tywin sits at the head like a judge who already knows the verdict. In A Clash of Kings, George R. R. Martin writes that Tywin Lannister never needed to raise his voice to make men tremble. This scene proves it, and the show deserves credit here. 2 minutes of silence, trusted completely, turned into one of the most quietly powerful moments in the entire series. Petyr Baelish, Varys, and Grand Maester Pycelle enter together. They stop at the same moment. They all see it. The chairs. Tyrion watches their faces closely. This is the instant the game begins. And these 3 men, among the sharpest minds in Westeros, are about to reveal exactly who they are. The silence stretches. 30 seconds. No one moves. When Varys steps forward, calm, measured, silk smooth, Littlefinger cuts in front of him and grabs the chair closest to Tywin, like a man claiming the last lifeboat on a sinking ship. This is Petyr Baelish. Once, he tells Varys that chaos isn't a pit. Chaos is a ladder. Many who try to climb it fall, and the fall breaks them.
Chaos isn't a pit. Chaos is a ladder.
Right now, Littlefinger is climbing. Over Varys. Over courtesy. Over dignity. Because in his mind, proximity to power is power. The closest chair means access, influence, protection. Hesitation means losing, and Littlefinger never hesitates when power is within reach. Varys pauses for half a heartbeat. There's a flicker of surprise on his face. Not anger, not fear, just curiosity. Maybe a silent thought. Really, we're doing this? But he doesn't rush. He doesn't compete. Varys calmly alters his path and takes the second chair. He sits, folds his hands, perfectly composed. Tyrion understands the difference immediately. In the books, Varys' power never comes from where he sits. It comes from where he listens. Hidden tunnels, whispers through walls. Children who hear everything and are noticed by no one. While Littlefinger fights to sit close to Tywin, Varys already knows which lord will be dead in a month. Then Grand Maester Pycelle steps forward. Old, bent, trembling, or so it appears. Tyrion knows better. He's seen Pycelle alone, seen the mask slip. The weakness is intentional, because if you look harmless, you aren't feared. And if you aren't feared, you survive. Pycelle takes the third chair without a word. 3 men seated. 3 approaches to power exposed. And Tywin still hasn't spoken. Tyrion still hasn't moved. Then Cersei Lannister enters. Tyrion glances toward the doorway, and his expression says everything. She surveys the room instantly, the chairs, the men, her father at the head of the table, and she refuses to sit where she's been placed. Instead, she lifts a chair herself. She carries it to Tywin's right side and sits beside him. It's brilliant. In A Feast for Crows, we live inside Cersei's mind, and what we learn is simple. She doesn't want to be Tywin's daughter. She wants to be Tywin. She thinks like him, plans like him, rules with his cruelty and certainty, but the world will never allow her to fully replace him, because she's a woman. So she positions herself as his equal, his extension, the power beside the throne, never beneath it. Even in defiance, Cersei defines herself through Tywin, forever chasing his approval while demanding recognition. Now Tyrion moves. He's seen enough. He walks to the last remaining chair and drags it. Slowly, the sound of stone scraping against wood echoes through the chamber. Every head turns. Tyrion pulls the chair across the room, all the way to the opposite side of the table, and he sits, directly facing his father. This is not accidental. This is not disrespect. This is a declaration. Tywin looks up. After nearly 2 full minutes of silence, Tyrion finally speaks. Calm, polite, almost amused.
Intimate, lovely table. Better chairs than the old small council chamber. Conveniently close to your own quarters. I like it.
This is Tyrion Lannister. What Tyrion is really saying is this: I see the test, and I refuse to sit where you place me. Tywin hates Tyrion for many reasons. Not because he drinks, jokes, or visits brothels. Tywin hates Tyrion because Tyrion thinks, Tyrion questions, and Tyrion cannot be controlled. Where Littlefinger chased closeness to power, Tyrion chose distance. Where Varys adapted silently, Tyrion disrupted openly. Where Pycelle chose survival, Tyrion chose independence. Where Cersei sat beside power, Tyrion placed himself against it. And beneath all of Tywin's rage, there may be something deeper still.
You who killed your mother to come into the world, you are an ill-made, spiteful little creature. Since I cannot prove that you are not mine. You're no son of mine.
Again and again, Tywin tells Tyrion, you are no son of mine. Not just disappointment, blood. Some believe he means it literally, that Tyrion carries dragon blood, that Aerys Targaryen, obsessed with Tywin's wife Joanna, is Tyrion's true father. The timeline fits. The cruelty fits. And if it's true, Tywin's hatred becomes something else entirely, a reminder of his greatest failure, a living wound. I've broken down that theory, the evidence, the timelines, the clues in my video. Tyrion is not a Lannister. It's linked in the description. If this breakdown changed how you see this scene, leave a like. If you notice details others missed, drop them in the comments. And if you want more deep, cinematic analysis like this, subscribe to the Story Chamber, because in this world, silence reveals everything. And Tyrion Lannister? He heard it all, long before anyone spoke.